Welcome everyone to our demonstration session named NMaaS in a nutshell. My name is Łukasz Opatowski. I am working in PSNC, and today I'm co-presenting with Frederic Louis from Renater. We will start with a brief introduction to the NMaaS concept. NMaaS is what we call a marketplace offering network management in the cloud, meaning that NMaaS is a software that allows users to deploy network management and monitoring applications in a Kubernetes-based cloud infrastructure. NMaaS is also a production service developed and maintained by the GÉANT project. NMaaS was developed with the intention to ease network management and monitoring, software deployment, configuration, and maintenance, and for specifically to be used by the NREN and institutions, GÉANT project teams, or maybe even NRENs themselves. So why should you consider NMaaS service? Maybe you would like to try out some new network applications really quickly. Maybe you'd like to, maybe you don't have sufficient resources in terms of servers or virtual machines to run some network management applications on your own. Maybe you don't have enough knowledgeable staff who could install those tools for you and also install and manage the underlying infrastructure required to run those tools. On the other hand, maybe you have multiple customers that would like you to manage and monitor their network or server infrastructure for them. And maybe on the other hand, you'd like just to focus solely on managing your services instead of worrying about the infrastructure underneath. So there are some options for you to use NMaaS. You can either use the NMaaS sandbox instance available at nmaas.org URL, so where you can test how NMaaS works. You can also deploy some test applications that are currently offered by NMaaS. If you would like to deploy some NMaaS on NMaaS, you can use the NMaaS production instance that is fully secured and fully supported by the NMaaS team that is working within the GÉANT project. And maybe you would like to deploy your own instance of NMaaS, and to this end you would have to visit our NMaaS installation guide available on this site. So this is the view of the NMaaS portal. As you can see here, all the currently available applications on NMaaS are being displayed and are ready for users for being deployed. So the NMaaS tool deployment process is as easy as possible from the end user perspective. So user has to log in to the portal using his EduGAIN account. He simply selects an application that will suit his needs. He provides a custom name for the application. He triggers the activation process. Along the process, he is requested to provide some basic first-time configuration for the application he's deploying. And after a couple of minutes, he is provided with the access link to his newly created application instance. Currently, NMaaS supports 22 applications from various areas of network management and monitoring, including 3 applications that were actually implemented within the GÉANT project, being the perfSONAR WiFiMon and SPA inventory. NMaaS has a built-in multi-tenancy support, meaning that a single NMaaS instance can be used in parallel by multiple institutions, and each of those get their own dedicated and isolated secured environment that can be safely used to monitor their internal networks. So on this figure on the right hand side, we have the central NMaaS service provider infrastructure, and consisting of the Kubernetes cluster on which we are setting up dedicated tenant domains in which we are deploying Dockerized applications using Helm. We also support a firewall appliance that is used to set up a dedicated VPN networks between the infrastructures that are being monitored and the applications that are being deployed centrally in the NMaaS cloud. So currently on the NMaaS central instance, we have more than 100 registered users for who we have created 21 tenant environments, domains. We support 22 applications, and currently we are running 70 instances of those applications. You can also view that the Prometheus and Grafana are far most popular applications that we support. So, of course, please contact us if you like to monitor your equipment using the tools offered by NMaaS. Maybe you'd like to share your own custom tools with the community via the NMaaS marketplace, or maybe you'd like to just test NMaaS capabilities or the tools we offer. And now I will switch to hand it over to Frederick, who will continue with a live demonstration.
So thank you, Lucas. So let me share real quick my screen. So great. The idea here is to show how NMaaS is used to monitor a network, a real network composed by a router that we are developing in the frame of the RAR project. So basically, RAR stands for Router for Academia Research and Education, and is a platform meant to create a routing stack based on multiple data planes that provide different solutions for the NRE project. So how does it look so far? We have deployed a set of P4 switch in GÉANT core in Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Poznan, Budapest, and we have stitched some additional P4 switch in HENet, JISC, Renater, switch Rediris, and RNP. The idea here is to validate our code in a representative fashion model. However, how do we manage this network? This is a key question usually when you deploy a network. How do you manage it? So it's quite simple. In our case, we have deployed on the left an out-of-band management, which is a multi-point to multi-point VPLS. And in this VPLS, you have a firewall that is establishing a tunnel toward NMaaS cluster. As Lucas said, NMaaS is a Kubernetes cluster able to run exposing microservices purely dedicated to network management. So let me show you how it works in reality. So essentially, you have a domain. You have a domain here. That is NMaaS is connected to Educane, which is perfect because the idea here is to not lose time and repeat all the login, the credential creation. And then as a domain here, for example, I'm the domain manager for the RAR domain. And I see that I have a bunch of applications, and I have deployed some application related to how to that are helping us to manage this network. And if you look at the glance, we have tested already LibreNMS, Oxidized, Oxidize is simply a configuration management system that is backupping every config in real time. We have a Victoria metrics, which is a key value database extensively used in a highly containerized environment. We have Prometheus and Grafana. In this example, I will show you how to deploy a new services into a domain here. So let's assume that we want to provide a new Grafana system, and let's click on deploy, and I will call it TNC21 GFN, which stands for Grafana. I will get, of course, the latest version, and when we click on deploy, and you will see that in a few clicks, you have deployed an application without having any sort of idea on how how this tool is working. So let me try to create an basic admin user here. And then the activation is ready. So you have deployed then here a TNC21 Grafana visualization for your domain. And this is as simple as that. Waiting for the container to be spawned into the Kubernetes cluster and available using our VPN access, what you can see is that Grafana is used here to monitor the network node. And here we have the example of a network node related to the link load. And if you look at this picture here, let's switch to 5-second granularity. You see that there is in SDN6, this is actually the connection that is connected to this laptop, and this in particularly with this Zoom session. And what you are seeing here is simply the peak related to when I activated the Zoom session. So this is great because with this new platform like RAR, you are able to have a 15-second granularity, and having visualization based on updated every second is not it's not something that is impossible. If you look at FMMP, in our case, all network management system are using 5-minute granularity. Same thing here, for example. No, this is not this one, but yes, this one. So here you see the same type of dashboard, but more or less related to Victoria metrics. And if you look back at our deployment, we have deployed together. You see that the TNC21G Grafana is active. So let's access it. And we need, of course, to put the very secure password we put all together during our session. Sorry. And then you see you have Grafana with an empty dashboard. So this is not that important, but when you have when you deploy a Grafana session, you add a data source, and they will select a Prometheus type, and let's use the data source we have previously deployed with Victoria metrics. We save and test, and of course, surprisingly, it's working correctly. And we have to import now. Now that we have a data source, we can import a dashboard. This is quite easily done by just using dashboard, new dashboard, and then we add a specific dashboard here. I won't do this exercise here, but the idea is that the end result is that you will have this type of a picture, and as you can see, it was done in 5 seconds. So Again, the idea here is to make you gain a lot of times and not make you lose time in learning the tools and try to make sure that everything is working and securely adapted to your needs. Thank you.